What's good, guys? I was finally able to take a trade even through all this bad October price action. I don't even think the PA was perfect today, but we had a very clean draw on liquidity that we were able to take a trade towards. So we are going to talk about that today. It should be a pretty short video because the trade was fast and quick into the market open. So I just kind of want to first talk about what's going on up here. So as you'll see, we are at all-time highs, and as a continuation trader and just in general, when we're at all-time highs, I'm normally just looking to go along with the trend, keep longing. But the thing about all-time highs is, even though people always say like always long at all-time highs, we are due for a retrace eventually. You don't always just want to spam longs. If it was always going to go up 100% of the time, no one would ever lose and it would be so easy, everyone would make money, but that's not the case. So we are obviously due for a retrace eventually, and in this case I thought this was like a great example of us getting a retrace at all-time highs. So as you'll see, we did create this new week opening gap at the beginning of the week. And here's the thing, right? We had rate cuts that came out this week. They came out yesterday, like the FOMC, federal funds rate news, all that, right? Those are those rate cuts. And there were like a 25 basis point whatever rate cut from 4.25 to 4% for like the federal rates. So the thing about that is those rates are already anticipated by the market earlier than the actual news event. So when the news event comes out, the expectation is that, like, from just the average person, oh, they're going to give you a rate cut, so we're just going to like rip up off of FOMC, right? But these rate cuts get priced into the market earlier than the actual event. So as you'll see, we created this new week opening gap and we're just ripping up from the beginning of this week. The number that I heard was there was a 98% chance they're coming out. So if that's correct, and even if it's not correct, it was obviously a very high chance. So with that idea, with that knowledge, it's going to be like the market is going to have a bullish sentiment anyways. So we had this very bullish market. It's just basically ripping up. We had a little bit of a down move off of FOMC, and then we continued up a little bit, but I still want to see a retrace. Like, I want to see this gap get retraced because I expect that if everyone's trying to long FOMC, I imagine that we want to come down, manipulate everyone out. So to go along with that, we also had, this was the 9 o'clock candle, or for me 6 o'clock candle, basically the hourly candle that closes right before market open. And as you'll see, this got an incredibly bearish close. So this was confirmation to me that I believe we want to come lower first. We might come up for the all-time highs, and this might be our retrace. Like I said, I want to see this new week opening gap. Obviously, it's probably not going to happen today because off market, like open, we were like still almost 400 points away. So that's not really the expectation, but I do want to see us come down. So this hourly candle closure, like as you'll see, we barely even created a bottom wick. This is a very bearish candle. This confirmed to me that we do want lower prices. So this was the main low that I was targeting. After this low, like I said, I'm still feeling bearish, but I don't want to target too much because I don't know how far we're going to go just intraday. And we had no other news today, so I didn't have super high expectations, but just off of this, I was very confident. Like, I never have 100% confidence in anything, but I had at least 99% confidence that this low was going to get taken before we get too high up. Like, we might get some sort of retrace, but before we take out any higher draws, we basically need to take this low in my brain. That's what I'm thinking. So coming down to the lower time frame. Oh, first I want to show you also on the S&P, we also had the low marked out, and then we're really close to the new week opening gap on the S&P. So both incredibly bearish. Like, I feel like this was a very easy draw, and this was also a good example of how important your draw is regardless of the price action. Like, obviously if it's just miserable, don't trade it, but sometimes you might not get the perfect entry. But what's the most important is what the higher time frame showing you. It doesn't really matter what you enter off of, as long as you have a semi-protected stop loss, semi-protected trade, and a good like RR, and you have a really good target, then I think it's a good trade. It doesn't matter if you're entering off ICT concepts, off of like IFVG, off of displacement, whatever it is, like even supply and demand, as long as you have a good target on the higher time frame, that's the most important thing. So this was a great case of that today, as you'll see, forming very bearish market structure. And I'm going to skip forward a little bit to get closer to market open. And let's see, I don't want to go too far here. Okay. So this was the candle right before market open, 629 or 929 if we're doing New York. And the way I'm kind of looking at this when the market was about to open is, as you'll see, this is incredibly bearish here, right? So we have really bearish, whatever. I showed you the 1 hour. We were super bearish. I see we make this massive down move. And normally when I take my trades, you'll see it's kind of like almost like the really common pattern looking V-shape move, right? We want to see like 1 or 2 candles go up and then a move down and then we short, right? But in this case, I was kind of looking at this like more of like this whole leg to me was like a retracement leg here. So I saw this whole thing as a retrace. I just wanted to see some sort of down move out of this to like confirm that we want to come lower. And then I was ready to trade because, like I said, as long as you have a semi-protected stop and a good idea, like a good higher time frame idea, it doesn't really matter what you take it off of. So this is what I wanted to see, something like this to take the trade. And as you'll see, that's pretty much what we got. The only thing is this was a really fat displacement. Like ideally, maybe this like was a little bit slower because we could have entered here. Maybe you could have gone break even. At this low, or like just had a better RR, but it didn't really matter. Like this was still enough confirmation for me that we wanted to come lower. Like I said, the draw was just so clear to me. I didn't have the perfect entry on this. Like you probably would have wanted to enter right at the candle closure. I got filled a little lower. Like I think I caught about 37 points. Wait, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I did. I don't know. It's something like this, right? Like something around here, just slightly below the candle closure there. And then ideally you would have wanted to have your stop loss here to be super protected, but I just put it slightly below to get that 1-to-1, because if we came up to this point, like we're probably not coming lower yet anyways. Like we're probably going to retrace to maybe like this 15-minute gap or something before coming lower, and then in that case, I mean, I would have been okay with that. Maybe would have re-entered for the lows, probably not, but that was the idea, right? So to me, this was just a very clean idea. Fill with something like this. Like I said, just wanted to target these lows, and as you'll see, we got one move up, but then from there it just started dumping, and I went to break even off of this candle just because once we kind of edged these lows, you know, I just wanted to make sure I didn't get like cooked off of something like this. I would have been kind of mad if I lost on something like that after edging the lows, but didn't matter. We ended up taking the lows and we're able to finally catch a dub. So I will show you guys the profit real quick. All right, here is my alpha futures. As you'll see, we got 732.20. So I don't know, it's like 36 or 37 points right there. Pretty solid. It feels just so good to take a trade after all of this stuff that we've been dealing with. It felt so good, especially like 4 minutes into market open, I was done. I could just like get off, hopped on some Clash Royale, and I was just chilling. So it was a great day. I want to say thank you. I think we're almost at like 70 subs. Might do a giveaway of one of these zero accounts at 100 subs. We'll see what happens, but I really appreciate the support I've been getting. I appreciate you if you made it to the end of the video. If you have any trading questions, comment them below, and I hope to see you in the next one.